I was manifesting from an identity that didn't exist. And for years, I set intentions for wealth and abundance while unconsciously identifying as someone who had to struggle to receive money, to make money, to hustle hard. I would visualize business success while deeply believing that success required, hustle and sacrifice and hard work. Like most of us have been taught. I would also affirm being in loving relationships while carrying the hidden belief that I wasn't truly worthy of love because of past experiences. So my conscious desires were at war with my subconscious identity. And guess who was winning every single time? Yep, my subconscious mind. And I bet yours is too. Because this identity war within me was just one of 5 sabotaging patterns that I discovered in my own practice, my own manifestation practice. Blocks that were operating beneath my conscious awareness, meaning I didn't know they were happening. It was just automatic, which were destroying my manifestations before they could even materialize. The first block hit me. And this is inspired by Dr. Joe because Dr. Joe's research showed that I was unconsciously addicted to familiar feelings. The first block is emotional addiction. For me, I was used to struggling, right? My brain was literally getting a chemical reward for recreating these emotions, which for me was struggling. My subconscious identity was to reject anything that threatened my emotional comfort zone. And so today, I want to share this raw, unfiltered truth about the 5 manifestation blocks that I discovered in my own life after years of frustration. Because this is the neurological reality of why most people fail at manifestation despite doing, all the right things. After identifying these blocks, I developed specific ways to dismantle each one, and the results were immediate. That manifestations that I had been trying to create for years just suddenly appeared, sometimes within weeks or even days. Money flowed from unexpected sources, opportunities that I couldn't even have fathomed landed in my lap. And that constant feeling of, trying to do things upstream, that battle, that hard work just disappeared. And I want to share that with you today. But before we get into this information and my channel is more than enough for you to apply this and start getting results. But if you are serious about manifestation and want to master the process without the complexity, the headaches, so you can achieve more all while doing less, then please check out the resources down below in the description. So last week, I'm at this coffee shop, Starbucks. And this guy next to me, he was wearing headphones, but I saw him. He was watching a manifestation video, and I knew it. And he's taking notes, he's nodding, doing all that stuff. Then his phone rings while I'm waiting for my order. And I overhear him saying that he's working on his business, he's broke, and how things never work out. And he's working in Starbucks. And then this guy just reminded me of who I was a couple of years ago. And I used to work at the same Starbucks. Wow, that was actually crazy. But he was simultaneously reinforcing the identity of lack and watching all these manifestation videos. And so it's like someone reading a book about diets while simultaneously eating a triple cheeseburger. And that's true from personal accounts. And you can call me Cheeseburger Kevy from now on. But here's the thing. I couldn't judge this homie because that was me. For years, I was that guy. Watching every Abraham Hicks video before, the AI versions came out. Reading every single Neville Goddard book. Doing all the right manifestation practices while still fundamentally identifying as someone who is used to struggling. This identity war within me was just one of 5 sabotaging blocks that I discovered. And so they were operating beneath my conscious awareness, destroying my manifestations before they even come into fruition. So let's dive deeper into this first block. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Emotional addiction, right? This one slapped me in the face when I just discovered Dr. Joe's research. Obviously, I love being slapped in the face because I always mention it in my videos, but here's what blew my mind. I was unconsciously addicted to the familiar feelings of struggling, right? Hard work, uncertainty. And that is the first block. Emotional addiction. Because let me explain what this means. Your brain is literally getting chemical reward from recreating these emotional states. That's right. You love to struggle. Let me reward you for that. You know, and that's what the brain does. Okay? But instead of shooting up, you're shooting down. Getting high on your own misery, like I was. It's the same deal as eating spicy food for your entire life, right? Your taste buds have applied to that level of heat. Then one day someone serves you, non-spicy food or something mild, and you're like, this tastes like nothing. That's what happens when opportunities show up without the drama that you're used to. Oh my God, this opportunity that just came up seems too easy. I didn't have to struggle for it. Where did I have to hustle for this? Something must be wrong. Man, that was the worst. I wasn't familiar with ease. How easy things can come. That I wanted to sabotage myself by looking for the struggle. Yeah, that old self is so cheeky, swear to God. It is so cheeky. One of my clients, Sarah, she kept manifesting business opportunities that would immediately not follow through. Every single time. We discovered she was addicted to the adrenaline rush of crisis and struggle. Similar to me. She was literally sabotaging her success because, calm and easy prosperity felt neurologically boring compared to the chemical cocktail of stress that she was used to. I remember that feeling. So here's how to break free from this pattern. And write this down. To break free, you need to become aware of your emotional addiction. Right? What is it for you? And consciously create a new emotional home address. For me, I had to recognize the feeling of, almost there but not quite. So not finishing what I set out to do. The perpetual state of striving. I had to deliberately practice being satisfied and abundant before the external evidence showed up. Now, the wild thing was when I started practicing the emotions of having it rather than almost there or struggling for it. Opportunities that have been stuck for months suddenly broke loose. There was a client that I'd been chasing for a year, and suddenly they reached out to me. So try that out. Block number 2, scattered attention. Now, this is your inability to direct your attention on what matters the most. Yeah, I said it, come at me. But you need to hear this, because I used to struggle with this so bad. Your manifestation power is directly proportional to your ability to focus your attention. But we are living in the most distracting environment in human history. Let me ask you something. How many times do you reach for your phone every single day? Be honest with yourself, because the average person touches their phone 2,000 times a day. We are constantly moving our attention between, notifications. That's supposed to be a tablet, but it looks like a graveyard. We're moving our attention to, our phone while watching Netflix simultaneously, and your laptop is there, so you're checking your email while you're at it. But the problem is manifestation requires focused attention. It's like using a magnifying glass and sunlight to start a fire, right? If you keep moving the magnifying glass, you're never going to generate enough heat in one spot to create a spark or a flame. Now listen carefully. I used to think I had an attention problem, but it turns out I had an addiction problem. I was addicted to the dopamine of the notifications, the novelty, the information of all of this digital age bullshit is bringing. It's not bullshit because I'm distributing this information to you. But the solution isn't to just focus more. It's creating an environment that supports attention density. And for me, it meant uncomfortable changes. Deleting IG, Facebook, all of that off my phone. Setting my phone on grayscale, which was super annoying because everything seemed so boring. I dare you to try that one. And create deep work blocks where I'm constantly unreachable, like power hours. Now that one was a blessing in disguise. But most importantly, listen carefully, practicing what I call single task meditation. That's right. Where you just do one thing with your full attention. If you're washing the dishes, no podcast in the background, no music in the background, no thinking about your to-do list, just you washing dishes like it's the most important spiritual practice in your life. Remember that last sentence, like it's the most important spiritual practice in the world, in your life. Because when I started doing all this, my manifestations accelerated dramatically. Things that I had been trying to create for months suddenly appeared within days. Now this all sounds so simple, right? Because it is. But your old self, that cheeky old self, is going to creep up, trying to pull you back. It will try to pull you back. So that is block number 2, my friend. Block number 3 is conscious and subconscious misalignment. This is where your desires and your subconscious programming are at war. It's like trying to drive with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. Your conscious mind is saying, I want abundance, I want success. While your subconscious mind is saying, danger. What? You gotta earn your worth for it, homie. It's hard to make money. You gotta struggle. You gotta work hard for it. Misalignment. One of my clients, Miguel, he had a plumbing business and he wanted to hit $1 million per year, 7 figures, right? But for 2 years, he was hovering at around 250, 300K. And when we dug deeper, we discovered that Miguel's childhood, his father had become very wealthy, and then his dad abandoned his family. So subconsciously, he created a powerful association. If I become too successful, I'm going to be like my dad. So there was a war between what he wanted and what his subconscious wanted. No amount of conscious manifestation work could override this subconscious block or subconscious programming. But one activation during our session released that immediately. And he had one of his best months. I think he did $98,000 in a single month without changing anything to his business. Now, if you don't want my help with that, this is where Dr. Joe's research comes in again. Because as you wake up and as you go to bed, so when you wake up and right before you go to bed, your brain transitions from beta to alpha and theta waves. And it creates a window where you can access your subconscious mind directly. Because your mind is out of the way. You're ready for bed. And I started using this window to impress new beliefs into my subconscious. Not just affirmations, but fully embodied the scenes of already being the person who I wanted to be. For example, I wasn't affirming, look, I am wealthy. Look, that will take a very long time to imprint into your subconscious mind. I'm not saying it works, but it takes a very long time. However, if your subconscious mind is programmed for lack, sorry, you're going to be pushing a boulder uphill. But do this instead. Mentally rehearse someone congratulating you for receiving, I don't know, let's say $10,000, okay? You're receiving $10,000. Make sure it's someone you have an emotional connection with. And then embody the sensory image. Feel their hug. Everything that is associated with that mental rehearsal. Now listen carefully. The key is emotional intensity. Your subconscious doesn't understand words. It understands feelings, sensations. So when you create that reality of your desired state with intensity right before sleep, as soon as you wake up, you are bypassing the conscious mind and it's going directly to your subconscious mind. Try that one. Block number 4 is the frequency of needing. This is the paradox of manifestation. The more you need something, the more you push it away. This desperate energy creates resistance in the quantum field. Oh my God, I need this client to say yes. I need this lady. I need this to succeed. I need this relationship to work out. This needing frequency is repelling everything. It's coming from a place of lack. It's telling the universe, I don't have this, and I'm incomplete without it. Now listen carefully, right? I'm putting this on a pedestal. How many times have we all done that? It's like dating. The moment you stop desperately needing someone to like you is usually the moment you become attracted to you. They become attracted to you, right? Screw dating. I'm gonna focus on myself. Oh, next day, the man of your dreams, the woman of your dreams comes and sweeps you along. And I struggled with this for years around money. The more I needed clients or opportunities to work out, the more it would slip away. This shit happened when I practiced. Then things started happening when I practiced detachment and surrender. Okay, it's not about not caring. It's about caring deeply while remaining unattached to how and when your desire manifests. So here's a practical way to shift needing. For any desire you're trying to create, ask yourself, can I be happy without this? If the answer is no, you're in the frequency of needing. But if the goal is to get a genuine yes, I can be happy without this specific outcome. And I choose to create it from a place of abundance rather than lack. Because if you can't get to that genuine yes state, then I'm sorry. You must have the wrong definition of manifestation. You gotta write this down. My definition of manifestation is shifting internally to a point where you are no longer emotionally dependent on seeing reality change. Okay? Shout out to Nero for that one. Game changer. When I made this shift, the most amazing things happened. Opportunities I'd been chasing for months started to appear. It felt like they started chasing me. Flipped it. It was like the universe saying, now that you don't need me, I'm all yours. And the universe is so cheeky. The universe is so cheeky. Now where should I stand? The fifth and final block is identity conflict. This is the game changer for me. I realized I was trying to manifest outcomes that were inconsistent between who I believed I was. Now listen closely. This is all identity level because this might be the most important thing I ever share. You will never outperform your identity. Your body is your identity. Your mind is what you want. I'm going to say that again. You will never outperform your identity. If you identify as someone who works hard, has to struggle with money, guess what reality you're creating when it comes to abundance. No matter how many abundance affirmations you recite, you cannot win against your identity. And I struggled with this most of my life. I literally overcame this just 3 years ago, which was not long ago. The solution isn't changing your thoughts, no. It's changing who you believe yourself to be at the most fundamental level. That's why my man over here has got a broken heart. That's where I developed my signature system, the rapid identity shift. Instead of trying to manifest from your old current identity, you permanently step into the identity of your future self. The version of you already has what you're trying to create. But if you want to understand how that works, all you have to do is literally ask yourself, who would I be if I already had this? How would I think about myself? How would I walk? How would I feel? How would I make decisions from this place? And then practice being that person before you even have the external evidence. When I started practicing this identity shifting, everything changed. Everything changed. I stopped trying to manifest abundance as someone who struggles with money, and instead I became someone who naturally attracts abundance in everything they do. I was just it. I wore it. Now the results were immediate and shocking. Manifestations that I'd been trying to create for years just suddenly started to appear. Money for opportunities to receive money flowed from unexpected sources, and things just started. Solutions to my business problems just landed on my lap. But that's it. That is the 5 blocks that are keeping your manifestations. And if you need help with rapidly shifting your identity, then book an alignment session with myself and let's make this process easy for you. That's where I shine. Link is in the description. But there you have it. The 5 manifestation blocks that were sabotaging my results for years. Emotional addiction to familiar states, your scattered attention, the epidemic that this is the most distracting age. Your conscious and your subconscious misalignment, the frequency of needing, and the conflict identity. The identity conflict. Now, removing these blocks changed everything for me, and I've helped hundreds of my clients do the same. Here's what I want you to do now. First, identify which of these 5 blocks resonates with you strongly. And you got to be brutally honest with yourself, okay? Second, commit to working on that one block out of these blocks for 30 days. Don't try to tackle all 5, okay? That's bringing in a dark night of the soul. Now, you can do that if you're brave. But if you are serious about accelerating this process, then just book an alignment session with me. And let's do this together. Because remember, manifestation isn't about creating something new. It's about removing the interference, the blocks that are keeping you from experiencing what's already yours.